Welcome back to State of the Frogs. Your head coach, Sonny Dykes. Coach, on the eve of a little thing called Christmas, here we sit. We're going. It's bowl week. It's game week for us. A lot's going on in the school the last couple of weeks. Let's start with the Raging Cajuns from Louisiana. What can you tell us about these guys?
Yeah, good football team, 10-win team, have really played well. Had some injuries, didn't play as well as they had been playing in the conference championship game. Got down to their starting quarterback didn't get to play, had some, they were banged up, which I anticipate them getting those guys back. So, good football team. They'll be excited to play. It's an opportunity to go knock off a Power 4 team. You put the tape on. The good thing from our players' perspective is when you watch them and you put the tape on, you can see how good of a football team they have. Really went to Wake Forest, lined up there and physically beat up on those guys. And so they got a good team. They do a tremendous job running the ball. They're physical. They got a lot of team speed and some guys who can make some big plays.
They're the Raging Cajuns for a reason. Most of their team is from Louisiana. They're the recruiting hotbed down there. They cover it pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah. South Louisiana's got some of the best football in the country, and most of their team is going to be guys from that part of the country. They've historically done a pretty good job at getting into Texas to find some players too. And so, good football team. Again, going to come from South Louisiana, and those kids are tough, and they know how to play the game, and it's important to them, and it's going to be a hungry football team that's going to really want to play well. And so we'll have to do a great job preparing and be in a really good space mentally and go out and play our best football.
Right. I saw their offense puts up similar numbers to your offense. Michael DeSormo, head coach, know anything about him?
Yeah, really good football coach. Was part of Billy's staff before he left and went to Florida, and really good coach and does a nice job. I mean, really, you could tell. I mean, they play with a lot of enthusiasm. They're very well coached on both sides of the ball. Very sound. Got a great scheme on offense and defense. Do a good job on team. So good football team.
You mentioned the quarterback is Ben Wooldridge. Is he the guy we'll be seeing?
Yeah, we anticipate seeing him. Yeah, I think that's who we're going to end up seeing. He's had a couple of weeks now to heal up and get healthy. So I would anticipate he'll be the starter.
Bill Davis, the running back, their leading rusher for a year or two now. Do you think anything special about this guy?
Yeah, good football player. I'm not quite sure who we're going to see. They've had some guys that have gone in the portal and don't know if they're going to play, not play. So we don't have a ton of information on kind of some of the players that are going to be available and not available. But they've got good players. I mean, got two really outstanding tight ends, a couple of really good receivers, good running backs. To me, the group that's pretty solid is their offensive line. I mean, anytime you run the ball as well as they do, you got to play well up front. And then the quarterback makes a ton of plays. I mean, he's really good at keeping plays alive, can run, can get the ball down the field, does a nice job executing their offense.
And let's hope it doesn't come down to a kick. A couple of games have, because they're Kenneth Doris, won the Lou Groza for them.
Yeah, they've got the best kicker in college football in terms of accuracy, and really good kicker. Doesn't miss any at all. So, like you said, we got to do a good job making sure it doesn't come down to a field goal.
Let's talk a little bit before we go to break about this week's preparation as opposed to previous regular season weeks. How do you guys change it up for the bowl week?
Yeah, a little bit different. Obviously our players are here over Christmas, so we had to do a good job of trying to get as much work done as we could. Gave them a little break, a chance to go home and see their families, and then we came back last night, had a team meeting, and today we're back at it again. And 2 days, then we'll travel on Wednesday, and then do our typical schedule from there. We'll have a Thursday walkthrough, a Friday run through, and try to go play as fast as we can on Saturday. I'm excited. We have an early start Saturday, which we haven't had many of those this year, and we get to wake up and go play football, and how's it get any better than that?
Right. The players in the Christmas season, all that you're juggling all at one time. How do these kids get a relatively normal Christmas, although it's not a normal
they
Christmas?
don't. No, they don't. They're away from their families, especially with the situation this year. So we'll travel on Christmas Day. So, guys that are local will get to spend some time with their families maybe in the morning, and then, kind of the same thing for us as coaches. We'll see our kids, open presents, do that stuff, and then, get up here, go to work, and fly to Albuquerque. And we have a team activity upon our arrival, and we'll also have some meetings and that type of thing Christmas Day. So, get into game preparation as quickly as we can.
A little birdie told me a secret about you. What does the name Comanche Elementary School mean to you?
It's where I went to elementary school in Albuquerque. My dad was part of the New Mexico staff for a couple of years, and so I think I went to 3rd and 4th grade there and had a good time. And so I've got some ties to Albuquerque. I had a lot of family that used to live there and some that still do, and so it's a neat little town.
Homecoming of sorts, good.
Yeah, cool. It'll be fun. I'm gonna try to throw maybe in the GPS where Comanche is, drop by and see it. It's been a while. I think it's probably been about 50 years or close since I've been by there, so I need to go by and check it out.
Thank you, Coach. We'll be right back with Director of Football Equipment, Jason Jones, talk a little about the uniforms and the bowl game gifts on the next segment of this State of the Frogs with your head coach, Sonny Dykes.
What do you see when you look up at the clouds? At Richard's Rainwater, we see the greatest source of pure, delicious water looking right back down at us. We've invented a simple, powerful technology to collect and bottle rainwater. Our process begins with the rain. When clouds become saturated, droplets fall from the sky. Rainfall is a naturally cleansing event. During the first few minutes, the raindrops clean the atmosphere and wash away any dirt or debris from surface areas. At this cleanest point in the rain cycle, we collect the pure raindrops into large storage vessels. Then, we use a simple, yet effective combination of ozone and microfiltration to ensure our rainwater surpasses the highest drinking water standards. We pour the pure, refreshing rainwater into glass bottles and aluminum cans, packaging as infinitely renewable as the water itself. Richard's Rainwater is building a network of collection systems across the country to ensure our rainwater is local everywhere. The purest, best-tasting water comes from the sky. Richard's Rainwater, sip the sky.
Welcome back to State of the Frogs. Your head coach, Sonny Dykes. We're here with Director of Football Operations or Football Equipment, Jason Jones. Thank you, Jason, for joining us.
No problem.
We're here in the equipment room. In front of us is some of the bowl gifts that the team's going to get through TCU. Jason, do you mind explaining what the kids are going to get this year?
Yeah, so we've typically done a handful of stuff. I mean, the NCAA doesn't have a price tag on what we can give them clothes-wise. The only thing they have a price tag on is like the electronics, or the bag is actually included in the price and all that kind of stuff. But for what the guys are going to get, I guess technically on Tuesday before we leave out, they're going to get 5 shirts, 2 pairs of shorts, a sweatsuit, a travel suit, a pair of shoes, more of a winter-style jacket, and a beanie, and then the travel bag to keep it all in. So they're getting, it's probably in total, probably somewhere close to $700-800 worth of stuff,
Fantastic.
at least minimum.
Each player.
Each player.
And this is just what
And
TCU
this-
gives. Not
yeah.
on top of that, they get some bowl gifts when they arrive.
So this is just what TCU's doing. At when we get to the bowl game, the bowl has set up where they're going to get commemorative autographed football, a beanie, a backpack, and something else, and then they get to go to a gift suite where they have it's like $250 that they can basically spend.
Gotcha.
So they get broken down into points, and I think it's like 5 points each, and they can either get 5 things or they can get one big thing. So that's how the bowl game's gift is done this year.
As Director of Football Equipment, what does your typical day-to-day look like if I can boil it down to one day?
Well, depending on which day it is. So some of them are a little bit different, but most of the time. So our Tuesdays are typically get here 5:15 range, because team meetings are usually around 6:30, 6:45. So we get here, pass out the practice jerseys, because we don't like to do that the night before, just because of injury reports and all that. Make sure they get the right jerseys they're supposed to wear. And then you're here till they have practice, which is usually around 8 o'clock. And then once practice is over, you just kind of are starting to get ready for the game for that weekend. And then on Tuesday, we have staff meeting at 5. And so until staff meeting's over, we're here. And then if we got to do something else afterwards, we do. But typically, we're usually out of here around probably 5:30, 5:45.
The season is a never-ending cycle of repeat, right? A lot of repeats, yes.
Watch and repeat. Your Tuesdays are always the same. Your Wednesdays are always the same. The only time that it's any kind of different is when depending on if it's a home or a road game.
Right.
So if the truck got to leave on, for Utah, it had to leave out on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and then for shorter trips, it doesn't really have to go anywhere.
When's the truck, leave
So
for
the
this
truck
trip?
for this trip is going to leave on Tuesday after practice once we get practice laundry done, so we can get that on the truck and not have to fly it with us. And so that'll be Tuesday probably around 4 o'clock, and it just has to be at our hotel by Christmas Day at 10 a.m., somewhere around there.
So that driver's going to spend Christmas on the road, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
And he's going to get paid pretty well for it because he's on the holiday pay. So.
I bet he is.
Yeah.
What type of equipment are you taking to the bowl game?
So equipment-wise, we're taking everything that we normally do for a road game, and then really just a little bit extra because we're only there an extra day and a half, almost 48 hours maybe. Yeah, we're only there for about 48 hours more, so we're not really doing much more besides just one small practice for the most part.
Right.
And so we don't we're not going to have to take a whole lot of our practice equipment.
Gotcha.
A lot of the stuff that we will use, University of New Mexico is willing to let us use, like the step overs and stuff like that, so we don't have to bring it.
Gotcha.
We're just bringing some of our necessity things that we don't really need that may not have other schools may not have.
Let's talk about uniforms real quick.
Yeah.
Every week you guys put together an assortment of uniforms, which we love generally. How does that idea come out every week?
So traditionally, we try to set it up and look at uniforms in the summer and get it decided back during the summer what we're going to wear, so we can actually plan things out, work with marketing to say like, hey, we're going to do this, so let's make this the blackout game or whatever. This year we kind of picked a week and a half, 2 weeks out, and we involved the 6 captains that we have on the team. I would ask them, and then what I would kind of give them ideas like, all right, this game we're thinking this, and be like, here's what my thought is. What do you think? What do you want to change? And then that's how it kind of just went. Now what was it? Central Florida, I think this year did the blackout game. AD texted us Thursday the week before and goes, hey, can we do blackout for Central Florida? We were planning to do blackout for Houston game, so we had to like completely rethink what we were doing.
Oh, wow.
For blackout, we even wore a different helmet than what we were planning to do. So, because really for the blackout game, we were actually thinking doing mirror with black instead. We made things change, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes.
These uniforms you pick out, is this a hard secret to keep within the organization?
No,
Because everybody wants to know, right?
in the end, I mean, I tell the guys pretty early. They know. I mean, I don't really care.
Okay.
Unless the only time that it really matters is if we're coming out with something new that we haven't done before.
Right.
And I mean, very rarely is that the case. But like when we debuted the new uniforms this year, we didn't want anybody to know until we put it out there.
Right.
So very few people knew what they actually looked like.
What will the Frogs be wearing for the bowl game?
So for the bowl game this year, we're going to be going with the mirror chrome helmet that we wore against Cincinnati, and who was the other team? Houston, I think, because I think we went mirror purple against Houston. And then we're going to actually wear the Fear the Frog gray jersey and pants.
Very good.
Because the whole concept is this is the last game for this iteration of the Fear the Frog jersey. And so we want to give them to the players, and so whatever jersey we wear in the bowl game, the players get to keep.
Right.
And so it just made it easy to move that one on that way. So
Well, Jason Jones, thank you for the time. It's nice to look inside the gears
no
of the
problem.
machine. So I appreciate you. Merry Christmas, you guys, and good luck at the bowl game.
no problem. Thank you.
That's been Jason Jones, Director of Football Equipment for TCU Football, and we'll be right back. Let's State of the Frogs with your head coach, Sonny Dykes.
Energy does everything for us. It's all-encompassing.
We're all benefiting and affected from it.
And it is something that we all need to know about.
It is the glue that holds everything together.
TCU is powering what matters, our future.
We don't just talk about what's needed, we focus on results.
The Ralph Lowe Energy Institute is creating a world where energy is affordable, sustainable, and reliable.
Welcome to the Squire Shop.
We are locally owned and operated since 1994.
We specialize in the finest men's clothing that the market has to offer at affordable prices with unbelievable service.
We do custom clothing all the way to more casual, Peter Millar, Johnny O, kind of everything. Well, my dad's the owner, so I've been around retail my whole life. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's the best boss I'll ever have. I know that.
We love our TCU community. They have been so good to us. Come see us today. Go Frogs!
Welcome back to State of the Frogs with your head coach, Sonny Dykes. Thank you, Jason Jones, for the update on the equipment and the bowl gifts and the uniform. Fascinating stuff. All right, Coach. Last couple of weeks have been chaotic, to put it mildly. Your preparation for the bowl game goes on without issue, but you lost your AD last week. Let's talk about that one first.
Yeah, and that's part of the college football. Anytime you go someplace and you're successful, and certainly TCU has been successful in a lot of different sports, people are going to try to come find out why you've been successful, and Jeremiah Donati was a big part of that. And so, South Carolina came, hired him away. I have complete confidence in our ability to go out and find somebody equally as talented as Jeremiah, and we've had a lot of interest in the job, so I have no doubt we'll go hire one of the best athletic directors in the country and get him in here and kind of pick up where we left off.
You had a good relationship with Jeremiah. What did he do for you that was so unique about the man?
Yeah, I think the big thing was, he's a really smart guy. He had a great vision for the program. I think he had been here for a long time. He really knew the place and knew what it needed to be successful, and quite frankly, what made it different and unique. And so, he had a lot of knowledge, institutional knowledge, knew how to get things done. Also understood how important football is and how important it's been to TCU, and the relationship between the success of the football program and the growth of the university. I think he understood that probably as well as anybody. And so anytime you lose somebody like that, you're losing a lot. But again, my belief is that we'll go out and find the best AD that we can find.
Right. All the good things the guy did, he luckily got you here to see us.
Yeah, well, I'm just lucky. Like I said, the thing about Jeremiah, and it was, he's a friend. And so we had a relationship outside of a business relationship. And you'll miss that part of it. But as I said, I'm excited about our future.
You lost one of your coaches, too. Doug Meacham's off to Oklahoma State. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, happy for Doug. He's an Oklahoma State graduate. He's been the offensive coordinator there before, I think, and Doug will do a great job. Talented coach. He'll do a good job calling plays there, and I'm happy for him. Anytime you have coaches that move on, I'm excited for him, and it's a great opportunity for him and his family. One
of the most exciting parts of this little discussion, signing day was last week, and you had the #1 ranked Big 12 signing class for this year, which is fantastic. Yeah, that was good for us. It was important for us to go out and replace some talented players with some good high school guys. I'm a big believer in building your program with high school players. We signed 29 high school and junior college players to this team, and I think about 21 of them will be here in January. So a lot of guys graduate early these days. So excited about that group of newcomers that we have. We try to go sign a football team every year, and I really like the group that we signed. I think really, really talented bunch, some guys that can do some great things, and big players. I'm a big believer in going out and signing length and athleticism, and this group certainly's got that. You're definitely unique in that way, maybe not of all coaches, but I know some programs across the country, they thrive on going after the portal guys now, quarterback-wise or otherwise. You still believe in the old system of growing them inside, which we happen to appreciate very much. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I think when you can bring somebody up in your program, there's a different level of commitment and accountability that those guys have to each other and to the program. And so that's how we want to do it. We have to fill in with the portal. It's a big part of the success we had in 22 was going out and being able to fill in some crucial situations and spots, and we'll do that this year as well. But we're excited about this high school group coming in, and we think they're going to develop into really good players. Good. Speaking of portal, you had some big losses and you had some big gains in the portal. Can we talk about that's the way the portal goes. I mean, it's you win some, you lose some, and we're excited about the guys we've been able to add. Anytime anybody goes in, you're always a little disappointed, but certainly understand why people do. Everybody wants a chance to play, and you always want what's best for the players. For sure. Some of the linemen that came in, you have some substantial help coming in D-line and O-line for that matter on the recruits and the transfer portal. So I think you've bolstered that up. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we didn't have our probably two best defensive linemen didn't play at all this year between. Paul and Mike. And so we'll get both those guys back, which will be huge additions. And as you said, we signed 2 JC linemen that I'm really excited about, and then a number of high school players as well. So I think the defensive front is going to be one of the deepest positions in our team, and certainly needs to be in today's college football world. Can you speak to any of the guys that have left to the portal? Is that something you know much about? Or just, no, we'll kind of see. I don't have any idea where some of those guys are going to go. And I think it's like anything else. Everybody's got to do what's best for their situation. Some guys are looking for playing time. Other guys want money, and they got to go do what's best for them. And I certainly don't blame anybody for doing that. Fair enough. Well, Coach, Merry Christmas to you and your family and all your team. We appreciate the season you gave to us this year. It was unbelievable. Yeah, thank you. Where it came from, where it went, but well done, and we're glad to be part of this. Me too. Excited about this game. I mean, we need to go win this game. It's important to our seniors, and as talked about the guys coming back. To me, it's the first game of next season, so we need to go play well and put our best foot forward. Our guys are really excited to play. We've had outstanding practices, and so I know that there's a desire to go out and play our best and go and compete at a high level. So looking forward to the game. Well, we'll see you at 1:15 in Albuquerque in the Isleta New Mexico Bowl. So thank you, Coach. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. All right, appreciate you here this season. All right, thanks, guys. It's been another season of State of the Frogs with your head coach, the man, Sonny Dykes.
Roxo Media House.